Bobby Pierce has responded to accusations that his tires were not flat during the Dream at Eldora. I wrote this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. One of the major storylines coming out of the dirt late model Dream at Eldora Speedway was Bobby Pierce's furious rally from the rear of the field to finish in second after he suffered a flat right rear with 52 laps to go. Pierce started the race in ninth and had made his way up to third when he slowed on the track with 52 laps to go. He took his car to the top of the track in turn 4 and drove around it until the caution came out as he was making his way down the front stretch. I think they waited till they had enough cars to complete the lap, because it was like he obviously slowed with 53 still, and then obviously as he made his way through because he was in third, they waved the caution to complete the lap. It was reported that Pierce's team changed both his rear tires. That was done by Ben Shelton, who is pit reporting for Flow Racing. Does excellent work for Flow Racing, best in the business. After getting new tires, Pierce rallied to finish in second, albeit he was over 10 seconds behind eventual race winner Jonathan Davenport. In a post-race interview with Flow Racing's Mike Norris, Pierce shared, "It's honestly a blessing the tire went flat because I knew I was probably killing them. There was a caution with about 60-some laps to go, so really early in the race. Someone had a flat tire, so I was debating pulling in and changing tires, but I was running about 7th at the time. I didn't really want to give up the spot. I just knew that when they do that track prep and the surface is so hard, it gets them little sharp pieces of dirt, and it kills the tire. I couldn't get going in the beginning," Pierce continued, "so I had to jump up top and get the line burned in. But of course, that's what happens. You hurt your tires." He reiterated these comments during the podium press conference. He said, "I actually wanted to come in earlier, so it's actually a good thing the tire did go flat because I had killed my stuff early on. We weren't any good at the start. I was terrible, actually. So I got up top, started burning a line in. But you kind of take a gamble doing that when you know they do the track prep and you get them like hard pieces of dirt, and that just ruins the tire sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but tonight it did." He went on and said, "I saw on the Jumbotron there people that were pulling in, their tires just looked cooked, and I knew mine was terrible too. There was a caution 60-some laps to go. I was just about to pull in. I really wanted to listen to my gut and pull in, but I didn't. But the tire eventually went flat, and when I put fresh rubber on, it was just night and day difference of the car. So if I could have done that earlier in the race, then maybe I could have got back up to the front in enough time to then race with him. If we had a caution at the end, it would have been exciting." I know Pierce has kind of talked about that a couple times, the finish there. I'm not sure that's the case. I think if you look at it, I think with 10 laps to go, they reported that there was like a 7-second lead, and then obviously he ended it with a 10-second lead, Davenport. So he extended that lead at the end of the race. Now, obviously, maybe Bobby races a little bit differently if there is a caution. And as he says, he just kind of lets it all rip, tears up the spoiler, etc. Just runs that outside to see if he can make hay. But I'm not sure if he would have really had anything. Davenport was just so dominant on Saturday. I don't think anyone really had anything for him whatsoever. Anytime someone got into second, he was gapping them. When Ricky Thornton was in second, it was like a 3-second gap within like a couple of laps. I mean, he just had a monster car, and he's had that for the last 3 years now, right? 3 wins in a row for the Dream at Eldora. Has been the favorite to win, and he proves why he is the favorite to win. But let's get into Pierce's kind of responses to some of these people coming up with accusations that his tires weren't flat. You've got this guy, Daniel, over on X, saying crazy how neither tire was flat when he caused a caution just to come and change both rear tires. Bobby says the right rear was going down. Thanks for your input, though. I think some of the confusion might come from the different rules that the different series have. I know Lucas Oil, I think, requires that the tire actually be flat in order for you to change it. I think we've seen some controversial rulings on that. I think Bobby was actually a victim of that at one point last year, I want to say. I forget which track it was at, but I feel like he was a victim of that last year. And but obviously Eldora is not a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race. It is a dirt car sanctioned race, and I think their rules are obviously a little different. He obviously knew his right rear was going down, and he went to the pits to change that, and obviously he did. And I think when they showed the tire, it obviously he had used it up, and it did look like it was losing air. It did not look like it was properly inflated whatsoever. And then we have this other person here, Slide Job 22. He says, did Bobby Pierce intentionally draw a caution? All tires looked to be up. And Bobby just simply responded, LMAO, kind of laughing it off. seeing it as just kind of like a ridiculous conspiracy theory there. And I think he's right to kind of laugh it off. Obviously, I think there's going to be speculation about that. I mean, we just live in a very low trust society now. People really don't trust people anymore, and it's pretty sad, but that is the case. And we've also seen numerous cheating scandals throughout all kinds of major sports, whether it be the NBA, whether you look at Serie A over in Italy, their soccer league, etc. There's all kinds of cheating scandals involving referees, etc., etc. I'm not making any implications. I'm just saying there's reason for people to have this lack of trust out there, because there has people have taken advantage of that trust. But I think Bobby explained it really good here, where he says that right here, he says, I was running about 7th at the time. I didn't really want to give up the spot. And I don't think he did. I think, and he was even further up, right? When he came to pit, right? He was in 3rd. So he's giving up even more track position there to pit. And he's running a huge risk, right? He doesn't know if changing those tires is going to significantly improve the handling of his car. I mean, we've seen how many times people go in, they change a tire, they go to the rear of the field, and they are stuck there. They don't make any movement forward. Now, obviously, at Eldora, it was a little bit different case. He clearly did move forward and moved forward significantly. Ended up finishing in 2nd after, I forget where he restarted. It might have been like high teens, maybe a low 20s. Not sure. I'm not sure how many cars Davenport had lapped at that time. Because of the cautions, I know people were getting their lap backs. That's how Nick Hoffman, who was lapped earlier, he got his lap back, and then he ended up finishing 3rd as well. Unclear if he made a tire change. We did see him go into the pits, and they were doing repair work on the back of that car. He talked about that in the podium press conference there as well, how he went to the pit and was able to get repairs done, and that helped the balance of that car significantly as well. So there were a lot of other people that went to the pit too. They got tires. They didn't make the charge to the front that Bobby Pierce made. So just because they changed the tires, it wouldn't necessarily make your car go straight to the front, right? I think Bobby Pierce's car was set up really well. I think Bobby Pierce is one of the elite drivers. I think Bobby Pierce had a really good horsepower, and he showed what that car could do, and he did get it to that 2nd spot. But just because you're changing tires, I don't think is going to give you some massive advantage. And I think we've seen that over the course of this year, and you go back to previous years, that's not always the case that happens. But let me know what you guys make of what Bobby Pierce had to say here about his explanation about changing the tire, the risks that he had to take, and then kind of just responding to what these folks had to say right here. Let me know in the comments below.